The hug that makes her feel safe. You can touch a woman, but that doesn't mean she feels safe. There are hugs that make her hold on tighter because she's moved, and there are hugs that make her stiffen because she's unsure. Is this acceptance or possession? Physical closeness is never enough to create a sense of peace if she can't find steady presence inside you. No one tells you this, but there is a kind of hug that makes a woman carry your image in her mind the rest of the day. Not because you're attractive, but because you made her feel like she stepped into a space where she could finally let her guard down. A hug that tells her she doesn't need to control anymore. She doesn't have to pretend she's fine. She doesn't need to wonder if you're being real or just playing a part. The right embrace can be the one thing that reminds her that this world is still safe, even if just for those few seconds. And if you've ever wondered why you hugged her but still felt her pull away, maybe it's because you touched her back, but never truly reached her heart. I used to think that if I hugged her long enough, tight enough, and gently enough, she'd feel safe. But then I realized not every hug is a promise that she can finally exhale in your arms. There was a time I wrapped my arms around her, thinking I was doing the right thing, but her body flinched, just slightly. A small, subtle movement, but enough for me to understand I was touching someone who was still protecting herself. And I started to remember all the times she smiled, but her eyes never really met mine. All the moments we were physically close, but between us, there was still a quiet distance. Physical nearness isn't enough to erase emotional separation. You can touch her, kiss her, sleep next to her, but if she doesn't feel safe with the energy you bring, then all that contact is just surface. And then I understood, isn't the strongest one? It's the truest one, where you're not posturing, not performing, not trying to be anything at all. Just you, fully present, not hiding anything. When you hug someone with the intention of, I'm here not to take, but to protect, she'll know. No words needed, no promises required, because the body has its own memory. And the heart, it always feels sincerity long before the mind can explain it. A woman will only truly relax in your arms. To Jesus when she no longer feels the need to protect herself. Not because you're sweet, not because you're strong, not because you're a good man, but because, to Jesus, you don't make her feel like she has to hold herself together around you. She's lived in a world where everything comes with conditions. Love comes with control. Closeness comes with pressure. Care comes with judgment. So when you hug her, to arm, she's not just feeling your arms. To Jesus, she's reading your heart. She can tell if you're hugging her because you need to be accepted. To Jesus, because you're offering her peace. She may not have the words to explain the difference, but her body will know. If you hug her expecting her to respond a certain way, to soften, to give something back, she'll hold a part of herself back. But if you just hug her, with no demands, no attempts to fix her, no pressure to make her feel better, just simply saying, you're allowed to hurt right now, and I'm still here. To Jesus, she'll finally exhale, really exhale. No more pretending, no more masks. And in that moment, she'll finally be in your arms, not just with her body, but with her soul. You don't need to be the perfect man. You just need to be the place where she can stop trying to be perfect. Because every woman dreams of something very simple. To be held, without being judged. To be vulnerable, without being looked down on. To be herself, and still be kept. There are hugs you never forget. Not because they were romantic, not because they were passionate, but because it was the first time your heart felt held, not tested. A hug that made you feel like you didn't have to prove anything anymore. No fear of being misunderstood, no need to be strong. Just a place to lean into that asks for nothing but your honesty. And for a woman, that kind of hug means more than any promise. She doesn't need a hug that makes her worry whether she's reacting the right way. She doesn't want an embrace that makes her question, is he doing this because he needs something or because he truly sees what I need? All she really wants is a place where her soul can rest. No judgment, no analysis, no definitions. And sometimes that place is you, not because you're perfect, but because you've learned how to be present with your heart, not just with your hands. The right hug isn't the longest. It's not the tightest. It's the one that makes her not want to pull away. The one that quietly says, you don't have to protect yourself this time, because she's been hurt before. She's been held by arms that weren't sincere. She's rested her head on chests that didn't feel peaceful. And she's carried a question in her heart that no one ever really answered. Is there anyone safe enough for me to fall apart with? And if you give her that answer, not with words, but with a wholehearted, present embrace, then you're not just holding her close. You're holding the softest part of her heart, the part the world has asked her to hide too many times. You might not think a hug matters that much, but for someone living through days filled with defenses and silent pain, a well-timed embrace could be the very reason they don't give up. No one teaches you how to hug in a way that makes a woman feel safe. We learn through awkwardness, through moments of rejection, through the quiet realization that touching someone's body is easy, but being handed their heart takes something deeper. The right hug isn't a tool to earn love. It's a way of holding on to the most delicate parts of someone without making them feel afraid. And when you learn how to hug like that, you don't just change how women see you. You change the way you connect to life itself. If something in this video spoke to you, even just a passing thought, a memory, or someone you once wanted to hold but didn't dare to, leave a comment below. And if you want to keep listening to the things no one ever taught us, but everyone should know, to live a little more gently, hit subscribe. Because we're not just telling stories here, we're learning how to hold each other with honesty.